Hey Zodiac Killers, welcome back to the Zodiac Killer channel. Today I'm coming at you with Sun sign Virgo. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tap on that notification bell so you can get notified when I post future videos. Alright, let's get started with Sun sign Virgo. So first off, I'm going to start with the surface level of Virgo Sun. So the basic knowledge of Virgo. So Virgo is the sixth sign in the zodiac wheel, is ruled by Mercury. Its element is earth. It's mutable energy and symbolized by the Virgin. And a lot of times, Virgos are known as the angel. Like a lot of times they will refer to themselves as angels, stuff like that. A lot of times when you think about Virgo, it's an earth sign. So they're going to be grounded. They can be very routine, organized, analytical, detail-oriented people. On the flip side, a lot of times people might think of them as boring, charming, creative individuals. So that's the basics of Virgo Sun. So next, I'm going to kind of get into Virgo as it is associated with the sixth house. So the sixth house involves health, fitness, systems, pets, analytical nature, usefulness, service, work habits, details. So a lot of times when you think about Virgo, you're going to think about all the things that are also associated with the sixth house, and you'll also see that kind of when you kind of like, if you're like into a Virgo, or if you're trying to like think about yourself, using this to like get better knowledge of who you are, you're going to realize like, wow, like these things kind of like explain who basically like the pit or the core of who I kind of am as a person. So next we're going to go into a deep analysis of Virgo. So like I said, Virgos are very analytical and detail-oriented people. You're going to notice Virgos paying attention to all the details. They have a perfectionist nature. A lot of times people know Virgos to be perfectionists. Like, they are ruled by Mercury, as I said before, so they have these ideas and they think a lot. So when they have these ideals, they have this ideal of what perfect is and whether, even if it's realistic or not. So Virgos tend to have very high standards, and they won't settle for less. They're going to get to the goal, and Virgos are usually like goal-oriented individuals. So when they do have a goal, they're going to stick to the goal. They're going to do every detail to the damn T. Like, that's just Virgo energy. You have some celebrities, some famous people that are Virgos. You have Kobe Bryant, you have Beyonce, you have Michael Jackson. These are the top three that you usually hear in videos pertaining to Virgos, because these are perfect examples of Virgo energy. When Beyonce not to deliver nothing that wasn't perfect. When Michael Jackson to deliver something that wasn't perfect. Kobe Bryant, he used to go to the court every day to perfect his skill. So that's the epitome of Virgo. So yeah, Virgos are routine types. They like to keep a list. They like to do things in an orderly fashion. They usually partake in daily habitual activities, whether that be writing in a journal every morning, or doing a to-do list, meditating, yoga, working out. Daily things that they're going to do, they're going to have in their routine, because Virgos are really into like self-care and caring and loving themselves as well. So they're going to have a lot of self-care, habitual activities, things that just help clear their minds too, because they are ruled by Mercury. So they have a lot of stuff going on in their heads. So they like to put that down as well. Virgos can be very spiritual and creative, much like Pisces, because I have to mention Pisces because Pisces and Virgo are on the same axis. So you're going to see a lot of Virgos kind of have similarities with Pisces energy. They're going to be creative. They're going to be spiritual. They're going to be healers. So you want to think of that when you think about Virgos. Virgos usually tend to be very talented in a certain activity, because they have the ability to focus and work vigorously. Excuse me. That's an interesting word. They have the ability to work vigorously toward any goal they put their mind to. You know, they typically tend to like have a goal, they have dreams, they have visions, much like Pisces energy, and they want to manifest like their earth, so they have the ability to stay grounded and manifest and be steadfast in anything that they put their mind to. Like I said before, since they are ruled by Mercury, they tend to be very analytical and good with communication. You know, not all the times a Virgo might not feel like they're the best with communication, but typically Virgos tend to be good with communication, especially the more mature and evolved Virgos will be good with communication. Now, that's not to say Virgos usually aren't the best texters. You know, they'll pick up the phone and call you, but a lot of times earth signs in general usually like to do things the old-fashioned way. They are very practical, so they think, oh, why should I sit here and text when I can just kill all the birds with one stone and say everything I gotta say through a phone call? It'll scrap up any type of confusion that might occur in text messages. Like, this is how practical they are. So if you want to communicate with an earth sign, or especially specifically Virgo, probably want to pick up the phone, because they do have a lot on their plate. A lot of times they're doing a list, so if they don't pick up the phone, they're probably busy, but they will call you back. They'll put you in their list and they'll call you back, but you just have to be patient. So don't get your jaws or your panties in a bundle because a Virgo don't text you back fast. Okay, Geminis? Okay. Yeah, but Virgos are their workers and servers of the zodiac. So you can ask a Virgo to do something and they will deliver. You know, the Virgo will take the load off your back just to help you out because they feel like they can do it better than you can do it. That's how Virgos think, okay? So, or they might be scared you gonna fuck something up, so they'll do it because they know they gonna do it to the fucking T. So yeah, like, you know, Virgos, they tend to be very determined and passionate about their dreams. So since they're earth signs, remember, you know, they can be grounded and they ground themselves into their dreams and they make them a reality. Like I said, like, they manifest shit for real. Like, this is how they do it. They can literally create something out of nothing. This is how like special Virgos are. Like, because they have that like access with Pisces, they can create a lot of stuff. Like, they're creators. Like, you think Leos are creators, but Virgos are up next, okay? Like, Virgos are creators as well. A lot of times they are low-key about a lot of the things they do, and you won't see them really, but you have a lot of creative as Virgos. Yeah, Virgos, as far as like how they carry themselves, Virgos usually have no problems being themselves. They are usually very confident and self-assured. They have no problem voicing their opinion, and they will let you know where you messed up, and they will give you constructive criticism. And you know, you can't really be mad at them for giving you straight facts and forcing you to see your lackings. You know, they're gonna force you to see, you know, like, you know, where you can do better, you know, where you can implement goals in your life. You know, they're gonna force you to see like all the imperfections, even if you think it's okay. The fact that they don't think it's okay, you know, because they are the perfectionists, they have the vision, they're gonna let you know. That's just what is what it is. Like I said, people say they mean, but they just blunt and they just tell it like it is. You know, Virgos usually go with the flow of things, but Virgos can get annoyed really easily because, you know, in the process of going with the flow of things, you know, just sometimes, like, a lot of times Virgos, I notice, like, Virgos like to be in their own space. They like to be alone. They like to be able to think and process and develop ideas. You know, they can be social. They aren't the most social being, but they can be social. If it's in their routine to do something social, they'll do it because it's in their routine. They kind of it's just in a routine. But they aren't really the most social butterflies, like, say, Gemini. You know, Gemini is ruled by Mercury, but it's different. It's different with Virgo. I also notice, like, Virgos have a nervous energy. A lot of times you'll see a Virgo, like, you know, biting their nails, or their eyes might be big, and because they're uneasy, because you know, they can be a nervous wreck, I guess, with under daily stresses and trying to be perfect and getting their list done. A lot of times Virgos will smoke that weed, smoke that marijuana, because, you know, it just helps them relax. A lot. That's also similar with Gemini energy too. You'll see a lot of Gemini smoking that shit. Virgos usually like animals. You know, like I said before, they're considered the healers. So, you know, naturally, like, animals kind of like gravitate toward Virgo energy. Also, Virgos, like, be careful not to get in relationships with people that have narcissistic characteristics, because Virgos are healers, and a lot of times with that healing energy, you know, you attract narcissistic type people that try to control you, that try to like suck you up to help themselves grow and just spit you back out and leave you with nothing. So, like, definitely, like, also that's the Pisces energy too, because it's on the same axis as Virgo. You tend to like attract narcissistic types, so gotta be careful with that. Lastly, well, one of the last things, Virgos probably need to learn how to deal with their emotions and deal with the emotions of others. Like, this is where Virgos struggle, because Virgos aren't really that good with emotions. I noticed, me being Cancer Sun, I'm really good with emotions, so I know when somebody else isn't really good with emotions or emotional intelligence. So yeah, that's one thing Virgo should work on, like learning how to deal with emotions and not being so blunt to the point where you're hurting other people's feelings, you know, because you have to consider other people's feelings. And a lot of times the Virgo don't consider other people's feelings when they say stuff. Much like the Gemini, when they just talk, they start talking and not really considering what they're saying as far as how it could affect somebody's feelings. But it's different with Gemini, because Gemini will say stuff and not even realize what they're even saying until they really process it, because that's how fast Mercury moves sometimes. So it's kind of similar with Virgo energy. Virgo is not as bad as Gemini, but it's something to work on. But as far as like vocations, like, Virgos would make good directors, they'll make good counselors, advisors, analysts, accountants, even car detailers, bookkeepers, caregivers, youth leaders. I know a lot of Virgos that love working with the youth. They will also make good like yoga instructors, and they can also like be into astrology as well. And lastly, as far as compatibility, me personally, I think Virgos are most compatible with other earth signs, with the exception of Scorpio. You know, I say this because Virgo would do well with other earth signs, because the earth signs tend to do things similarly. Like, they're usually very organized, you know, routine, structured type, grounded type individuals. So of course an earth sign would do well with another earth sign. But I say with the exception of Scorpio, because Scorpio doesn't really show a lot of emotions right off the bat. Even though they are emotional creatures, they hide their emotions deep. So that will play well with Virgo's lack of emotions and lack of knowing how to deal with emotions. And Scorpio is also like, they like a lot of space, like Virgos like a lot of space, so that would actually be beneficial. And Scorpios are also like motivated to bring their goals and their dreams into reality. They manifest just like Virgo. So that's why I say Virgo would do good with Scorpio. Virgo will also do good with Pisces and Cancer, but not as well as Scorpio. But I do see a lot of Virgo Pisces relationships, and Virgo and Cancer is, I give it, out of 4 stars, I give it like a 3 stars, because, you know, Cancers are very emotional and Virgos do not like that, okay? And Cancers aren't patient. Like, an unevolved Cancer is not going to be patient, and Virgos need a lot of patience. Now an evolved Cancer will have more patience, and it could probably work out. but a lot of uninvolved Cancers want to move fast in relationship, and Virgo, being an earth sign, is very slow, so Virgo is not going to like that at all. Trust me, I learned the hard way because I'm a Cancer and I was uninvolved, and I was like that. You know, I would want to move fast in relationships. I don't know why, because you know, just giving a little bit of relationship advice, you really should take your time and getting to know somebody. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to dwell on that. That would be another video. But that, okay, yep, that's it for Virgo Sun. Before you go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tap that notification bell so you can be notified when I create future videos. All right, Zodiac Killers, until next time.